Hey, Whisky Fans, I'm Chris.
And I'm Kara.
Kara, what do we have today?
We have a Whisky Tour of Scotland, day 20. Today is a 15-year-old Lowland.
Our first one, I think.
Our first Lowland.
Yeah.
It is from the distillery Girvan, and it is in first fill bourbon barrels from the distillery Koval. It is that is a U.S. distillery. Does some interesting experimentation.
That's where that sound effect like the brakes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where that happens.
So we've had Koval finishing before. It was that interestingly slightly different OD sensation that we were getting because of the 4-grain barrel that a Scotch was matured in. So that's why Chris is a little bit hesitant to try this malt, but I'm going into the nose.
Okay. I've never heard of this distillery before. Can I just point that out?
I have not either.
Yeah.
So, not that we're familiar with all distilleries, but we've never heard of Girvan, something like that. Smells like men's aftershave mixed with bug repellent.
Gotta love the deep.
Yep, smells like that a little bit.
Okay, so the Lowlands that we have and have tried have a little bit of almost like a pungent blue cheese weird note.
The Bladnock does that.
There's another one that we had too.
Well, Auchentoshan that we have isn't quite that way. It's more...
I think it's proof down so much.
That one's very proof down to like 43 or something like that. But that one has a number of finishing barrels. Like it was matured and then finished a couple times. So that one's kind of an outlier. I've heard that Lowland whiskeys are traditionally just really fruity, really easy and approachable. We've yet to have a Lowland like that. So maybe this one will be more like that.
When I was starting to say that, I was expecting that funkiness. I'm not getting that. Yeah. However, there's a slight sourness. It's really weird. It's toward the back.
I'm getting hay now.
Oh, I'm not getting
fresh cut grassy. Yeah. Floral grasses.
I'm still getting deep and sour.
Yeah, it's right there with the deet.
Yeah, I'm not getting
spray, like a buggy spray.
The barley or anything.
Okay, should we?
Let's just
experience this together. Cheers.
That weird. Oh,
that's different. Okay, so I was like, "Ooh, is that gonna go sweet honey?"
And then it took a turn, the wrong direction. Remember that fork in the road, and you said you're trying to right?
Yeah.
Well, since we're in Scotland, it's on the opposite side of the road. It's gonna turn left.
Okay.
That's where this went. It's weird.
It's slightly artificial sugary, but it's not super intense. It is an unusual vanilla experience.
Okay, hold on.
Mixed with something
weird.
else.
It's almost like sarsaparilla concentrate, right? It's not a cola. It's that weird, slight but really really rich sarsaparilla. Like if you were to put it in a soda machine without the carbonation, just that pure.
Yeah,
you're not getting that?
No, there's something weird on the back palate that's like...
Oh my god, I got the hay on the nose now.
Yeah.
That's all it is now. I'm in a barn.
Yeah. It's like... I've never had something called cola nut, but I've heard it described before. And
Young coconut.
Like raw. Untoasted.
Yeah. We wouldn't know that so much because we don't...
I don't eat a lot of young coconut,
But yeah, when you get some coconut juice that... The water, you just don't... You're like, ooh, and you're like, oh, that's the youth one, the really green ones, right?
But it's also a slightly toasty coconut, too. On the finish. It's like... coconut and water meets shredded coconut that's been overly toasted.
I'm still getting some sarsaparilla, which is weird.
Instead of sarsaparilla, I'm getting a weird toasted coconut, overly toasted flavor. Like, weird.
So, is that...
Not exactly burnt sugar.
The malt or the bourbon that we really don't care for so much?
Blame it on the bourbon. I don't know. This is a different experience. Like, the front palate is very inviting at first. Yeah, and then it turns directions. So I'm going to go back one more time. I don't know how much... It is 15 years old. maybe that toasted coconut, vanilla, young coconut water is coming from the bourbon barrel. Because those notes do make sense for bourbon.
So, the more I keep drinking this and it opens up, it's less hay now, less DEET. The DEET's gone.
Yep.
The hay's starting to subside, and now it's almost like that meringue sweetness on the nose.
Okay, this is 43, but...
This is weird. This is almost like if Scotch was a villain. Because you don't know how to perceive it.
But I'm thinking this coconutty experience, the coconut experience with the vanilla oddities, I really do think that's coming from bourbon. The bourbon barrel it's aged in, because those are traditionally notes you get from wood. So I'm thinking it's that barrel.
I'm not a fan of it.
I put water in it. I know it's 43, but I'm gonna... Is it 43?
I thought you said
Yep,
43.
it's 43, so I'm gonna go down even lower and see if I can play with that finish.
Oh no.
Okay. It kind of... Yeah, it mellowed out the whole thing. But it just made it kind of more average across the board.
No, now it's got like that fake sunscreen coconut.
Oh, I was getting that the whole time.
No, but that one just brought it out so much more. Like if you just licked your arm at that sunscreen.
Maybe not as dramatic as you're implying.
Almost
I don't get the chemicals that
big drama.
You are very drama. It doesn't. I'm not getting the artificial like chemicals you get in sunscreen, but I am getting a weird coconut sensation now throughout the whole palette. So, I think it kind of with water taking a 43 down even further. I think it just makes it a little more pedestrian. So I wouldn't do that. So,
just the more it opens up, it's just everything goes away, and then the coconut just comes more out, but it's a youthful coconut. Not like a really good coconut that you would use for cooking or like bakery stuff. This is just so overwhelming. I wonder if we just let it sit for a while and it will become a coconut.
It very well could be.
It might.
It could.
Might.
So what were your tasting notes for day 20, this Lowland whiskey out of Girvan? Please give us those notes below, and while you're down there, hit that thumbs up button. If you like our channel, please subscribe and turn on your notifications, and you can join us in our next video. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm so glad there are 4 days left in this whiskey journey, so we have the opportunity to end on a higher note. This Lowland whiskey was an experience, though.
It was weird.
It was.
An experience I never thought I would have in a Scotch, and yet here we are.
There we go. You know, there's always room for new things.
Yeah, I don't fancy this whiskey so much, but cheers.
Cheers.